Hey guys, Cinema Sickness here in my basement. Now, you're probably wondering, why the hell am I doing a video in my basement? What could this possibly have to do with my collection, cinema, whatever? Well, I actually have a pretty big announcement for you guys, and I'm just going to come right out with it. And that is, this is going to be the future home of my library. Not this section, not this section. But when you walk through this little doorway here, which there will eventually be a door here, you're going to come into my library. As you can see right now, it is storage, shelves, got an exercise bike. This is actually where I do work out. It might not show, but I do actually exercise. Standard definition TV and whatnot. And again, just the one half of the basement that we use for storage, basically, filing cabinets and all kinds of fun files and stuff that we're going through right now. So, yes, the plan is to actually use this as my library. Now, the reason why when we moved in here, I did not initially put shelves down here is because, as I've already mentioned, this was my father's house. This is actually the house that I grew up in. I was raised in this house, only moved out for 4 years, and then when my father passed away, he left it to me in his will. So the wife and I moved out of our condo and moved into this house, back into this house. So, again, I've lived here pretty much my whole life with the exception of those 4 years in the condo. So I'm well aware that we do get water in this basement. Not a ton. It's not like we have, feet of water that we're wading through. It's mostly just puddles of water that come in where the floor and the wall meet. You can see down there, that's not mold, don't get freaked out, that's just water stains. It does look, well, it actually looks a lot grosser in the video than it does in real life. I'm looking through the screen right now, I'm not sure if it's going to come up like that in the video or not, but just looking at this through the screen, that looks really, really gross. I assure you it's not that bad, it's just, again, water stains. But as you can tell from water stains, we do get some water coming in from where, like I said, the cinder block wall and the concrete floor come together. So I had always wanted to have my library down here. I mean, when we moved in, my wife actually suggested to me, why don't you put your library down here? And I was like, well, I can't. We get water, which that immediately says no, because it'll be my luck that, first I don't even want those puddles of water being down here with my movies. That's not happening. But it will be my luck. This will be the first year since I've ever lived here in the 30 years I've been alive that we do get like 20 feet of water down here for some strange reason. So I don't want to take that risk. But I do have a friend from high school who actually does waterproofing. He waterproofs basements. And I actually put out a little question on Facebook about a week ago asking, does anybody know how to waterproof basements? And he got back to me, said, well, that's what I do for a living now. Would you like me to come over and give you a quote? And I said, sure. So he came over last night, gave me a really, really good deal. Apparently it's kind of like off season and he just, wanted the work. And also the fact that, we went to high school together and we're friends. He just gave me a really, really good hookup. At the end of the video, I'm actually going to put a little plug for his company. Can't tell you how much I'm paying because, like I said, it was a really good deal. I don't want to give out numbers, but he definitely hooked me up on waterproofing the basement. We're going to completely waterproof it, the walls, around the base, everything. Not just this section, but the entire basement will be waterproof. So water will not be coming in from anywhere to get to my movies. It'll also definitely cut down the moisture down here. It's not like it's necessarily super damp, but you can tell in the air it's a little, it's basically cool down here. I mean, it's underground to an extent. I mean, you can kind of see what I'm talking about there. But, it's a little cooler down here, so, it is a little bit more moist. He said it will cut back on that. Plus, I also plan on putting a dehumidifier down here. We have this crappy little one that my father-in-law gave me, but I plan on buying a really nice one, like a brand new heavy-duty one. Sticking that down here as well, even though he said it will, by waterproofing the basement, especially when we do stuff to the walls, it'll pretty much get rid of the moisture, but just to absolutely play it safe, I will also have a dehumidifier down here. So, yeah, that's the big news. Even though only a year ago I built the library upstairs, I'm moving it all down here now. I'm going to do this upright, too. I'm not going to half-ass this. I'm going to really go all out and spend some money on this. I mean, not only am I paying Well, again, I don't want to say, but it's it's not a ton, but it's a good chunk of change to waterproof the basement. So I'm spending the money on that. Plus, as far as the shelves go, I will be just moving some of the shelves I've already built from upstairs down here. And good news for you guys, my movies will no longer be on their sides. They will be back up to upright, as I know a lot of you were very against me putting them on their sides. So that will all change. But I'm going to bring the shelves down here, put them up, and I'll be building new shelves. Because this is actually a much larger space. This goes from one side of the house to the other. It's actually also wider, too, than the room I'm in right now. So it's not, we're not looking at like a huge difference, but we're looking about like, I'm going to say maybe half a room difference. So the room I'm in now, I'm adding, well, maybe a little bit over half a room difference. So that'll definitely give me some more room to play around with. That is the main draw to being down here. Plus, I like being down in the basement because it's like it's kind of like a man cave. My library's gonna be a little man cave where I don't have to worry about people hearing me. The room I'm in right now is actually going to be next to my future child's room. No, we're not pregnant yet, but we are working on it. So eventually, when we have a kid, the room's gonna be right next to it. I don't want to be in my library playing on my computer, watching a movie. Maybe moving movies around or something like that and be waking my kid up. Down here, nobody's going to hear me. What is above us is actually, over here is the dining room and the living room. We don't use those rooms very much. Occasionally we'll eat something in the dining room, not very often. And the living room, it's really just for show. We have a family room in the house too. That's where we have a TV and that's where the family hangs out. But the living room, basically just a showroom. It's one of those funny rooms that you always see in the movies where the mother, decorates it and has it like roped off and nobody can go in it. We don't have it quite that. We're not quite that anal. You can go in it if you want, but it's kind of the same thing. It's just a room we don't really use. So, so nobody's going to hear me. It's going to be great. I'm really excited to put everything down here. And as I was saying about spending money, again, I am spending money on waterproofing. I'm going to build my own shelves again, but I'm going to do them a little better this time. I'm going to put some backing on them and stuff like that. I was thinking, even though they're putting water barrier on all the walls, there's part of me who was thinking maybe just for, extra added protection, putting plastic behind the, on my shelves as well, like on the back. If I'm going to put plywood on the back, put plastic on that as well. So just by some crazy weird reason, water still gets through, which, again, it shouldn't, but just in case, I'll have a little bit of extra protection. Things like that I plan on doing. Like I said, I plan on doing it upright. I'm also going to, I really would like to paint the shelves. That is the idea right now instead of just the wood look. I do want to paint them, and I want to paint them whatever the color is I paint the rafters, because I am painting up here as well. And this is something else I thought. I was looking at the rafters, and it hit me. You can see we have some like storage up there and some wood and stuff. That'll all come down. But what I was thinking is I can use the rafters as more shelving. If I can climb up here really quickly, I will show you what I mean. I could just put a piece of wood flat against there, coming out to about there, and then I could take, let's say, my VHS tapes and put them like that all the way across. So every single beam you see here could potentially be another shelf. And I love that idea. There's something about the idea of not only having floor-to-ceiling, wall-to-wall shelves all around, but then when you look up, you got more movies, on the rafters. I just think that's going to be a really cool look. It's just going to be movies everywhere. And plus, look at all the space. That is a ton of extra space. Getting to use the ceiling, I think that's great. So that's the plan I have there, although there are some nails sticking out. I got to figure out what I'm going to do about that. Because the last thing I want to do is reach up there for a movie and stab my hand. So I'll think of something to get around that. But yeah, lots and lots of more room down here. And as I said, the reason why we didn't initially put my movies down here when I moved in was because of the possibility of getting water down here. But now that's not going to be a problem. I think it's going to be a great solution. Also, I want to put some lighting in down here because the only light we have down here, besides what's coming in from the windows, which I will put curtains up anyway, so there won't be much light coming in there. We have one light bulb and two light bulb. and that's not really going to work for me. Plus, as far as electricity goes, we have a plug in the light switch, and then as you see, there's some extension cords running up here to plug into the refrigerator and this little lamp. They go over to an electrical outlet that is way over there in the corner. So that's not going to work either. I'm not running extension cords all around the basement just to plug, like, we'll get into that. Really want a TV down here, so we'll get into that in a second. But, I'm not going to run extension cords all around the rafters. That's not going to happen. So I will probably hire an electrician to come in, put in some lights. The reason I want to hire electricians is because this wire's really out of date. This house is not up to code because it's a house built in 1964, and the code is very different now. So I kind of want to make it right. I would like to replace all the the wires down here, and maybe put in some kind of nice lighting up in the rafters. Obviously not all the rafters because I want to do shelves up there as well, but maybe some can lighting. Like one here and then one over there and then one there, and a couple over there. Just to add some extra lighting and lighting it looks nicer. Hopefully that can maybe all be flipped on with a single flip of the light switch. That would be nice. But I am going to hire somebody to do that because, like I said, I want it done right. It's going to cost me a bit of money to put my movies down here, but again, this is the house I plan on living and dying in. I have no plans whatsoever on ever moving. This is the house I grew up in. This is my childhood home. I love this house. I don't want to leave. So I'm going to put the money into this. I'm going to do this right. If I'm going to make a library in my basement where this will be it. This is going to be my permanent library. I really don't see myself ever moving it because I don't know where I would move it. The wife already vetoed, when the kid moves, eventually when we have a kid and it, moves out in like 18, 20 years, whatever, knocking down the wall and making that one whole, both bedrooms, one big room for my movies. She already vetoed that. She says, no, you're not knocking down any walls. So I don't know if I'd be able to get away with that. So this is where I plan on putting everything. So I am going to spend the money. I'm going to do it right. I'm going to paint as you can see, the floor, it's seen better days. It's just a concrete floor. I mean, that's all concrete right there that was just painted over at one point. Now it's starting to come up, and there's some rust marks from, I don't know what was ever there at one point. I guess we got water down here and something rusted. So this needs to be redone, and I'm going to what I want to do right now is just paint it. That's the idea. I did have another idea of, I don't know if you've ever seen that. It's like clear, you might have seen it in restaurants. It's like a clear epoxy. Sometimes you see it in bars on the bar, or sometimes you see it in restaurants on the table, things like that, where they put it on the table and then you can like put things in it and then it dries clear and it's still flat and whatnot, but you can see whatever it is you put in it. I was thinking about maybe it'd be kind of cool to do that. So paint the floor a color and then put the epoxy down, and inside it maybe put like movie action figures or something like that. Get like characters from all different types of movies and stuff and stick them in the floor. I think that would be really neat. Again, that's just an idea right now. I have no idea that's even feasible. I don't know what the cost of something like that would be. I don't know if that epoxy is expensive. It might be. If it is, that might veto it. Also, I'll have to go out and buy. I have some, which is David's Toys. I actually have a whole bunch of movie-related action figures in there. So I already have some to start with, but I think maybe this summer I'll look around when I go to the flea market and see if I can find any more. And if I can, that could really work. It could look really cool. I think it look really neat to look down at the floor and see, action figures in the actual floor itself, which again, you won't be able to touch. They'll be in the actual floor. The floor will be flat. They won't be sticking out or anything. So, again, I just have all these ideas. That could be really interesting, but we'll have to see how that goes. But for right now, the main plan is to just get this started, and that all happened last night when I talked to my friend, and again, he hooked me up on a really good deal for getting my basement waterproofed. So that was basically day one of the build of the new cinematic media library. I do plan on documenting the whole thing. I will be shooting a video of the new build, kind of like I did with the last one. Hopefully I'll do a better job this time shooting updates, and there will be more updates, because this could take a while too. This isn't going to be like my my last build that took me a few weeks. I mean, I had that. I think I had the library in the bedroom built in like 3 weeks. I had that up really fast, and that's because really all I had to do is build shelves. There wasn't anything else involved. I had to build shelves, boom, put my movies on them, done. It was very simple. Whereas in this video, in this build, there's a lot more to be done. I'm gonna have to get the basement waterproof, which is gonna take. He said it'd probably take 2 weekends of doing that. After I get that, I got to worry about electricity. Again, I need to put new lights in down here and hopefully some electrical plugs in down here. So I have that to do. I got to hire somebody to do that. I'm then going to have to go out and rent a sprayer so I can paint. But I guess before that, I'll have to actually build the shelves. So there's a lot of work to be done before I get this all finished. So it could take months. I don't know how long this is going to take. It could be to the end of summer till I even get this completely finished. It just all depends on how fast things go. How fast anything else I'm hiring people to do goes. I might. I have some friends who said they might help out, so maybe I can have some friends help me build shelves or paint. Because like I said, I want to get a spray painter so I can spray paint the rafters and all the shelves I'm putting in down here. So we'll have to see how all that goes and how quickly this all gets finished. I guess I'll also talk about quickly, and just, you might be wondering why there's movies down here. This is all the stuff I actually have for a trade and for sale. This is where I store it right now. I guess eventually all this will go back up into the library that I have right now. But anyway, I would like to put a, not necessarily, I don't think I want to get a couch. A lot of people are like, you should get a couch down here, that'd be cool. Maybe I'll get a couch. I do like the idea of being able to lie down on the couch. That sounds good. But part of me was also thinking maybe instead of a couch, maybe just getting like a lazy boy recliner or something like that down here. And also a TV. I would really like to put a TV down here. Because right now in my library, I have a little TV. And really I only use that for if I'm working on the computer, maybe I'm moving some stuff around in the library, things like that. I'll play a movie or TV show or something like that on it. But really, I don't really watch much videos in there. I don't sit in there and watch movies. It's not what that's for. It's just a library. It's not a theater. That's not what the new I guess it's hard to say. Is it the new library? I guess I'll say library number 2. It's not what library number 2 is used for. It's simply just a library, again, not a theater. But I want to change that. I want to make this also a bit of a theater as well. Nothing fancy. I'm not gonna have like some huge projection screen and theater chairs or anything like that. No, nothing that crazy. We're talking just a TV, either a small couch or a lounge chair. As far as sound goes, probably not right away because this is already going to cost me enough to build this library down here. But eventually, maybe a nice sound system, surround sound or something like that, built in or something I could get done. Who knows? But again, I would like to have the ability to watch videos down here. I think that'd be great. Probably a nice big HD TV somewhere, and then probably a standard definition TV somewhere as well. Because I do like having standard definition TVs hooked up, as you can see, to watch VHS, CD, Laserdisc, and all that good stuff on. And I'm actually thinking about putting that like right in the middle of the room because I want to save the walls for shelving. So I was thinking like right in the middle of the room, maybe like a TV, over there, and then like a couch over here, something like that. I'll also have my computer down here. I want to do that as well. So that's another reason why I kind of like the idea of maybe a couch, because then behind the couch, I could have a table with my computer on it. So that way, if I want to watch a movie while working on my computer, I'll still be facing the TV. Just things I'm thinking about. I would also like to have the TV sitting, not mounted to a wall, but instead sitting on top of a maybe like some kind of table entertainment stand sort of thing with shelves in it that I can put all my different players on and have them all hooked up. So anytime I want to watch a CD, Laserdisc, Blu-ray, DVD, HD DVD, whatever, I'll just pop one in and I'm good to go. I would like that as well. So we'll see. Like I said, I have very, very big plans for this, and I plan on doing it up right. After building my last library, I've learned some mistakes. There's some things I kind of wish I would have done better. Even things like painting the shelves, although that wouldn't have gone over so well in the last library. due to the fact that there's no backing on those shelves. It's just the wall. Had I painted in there, I would have made a huge mess of the wall, and I'm kind of glad I didn't do that, because now that I'm moving my library, that would have involved me going back and painting that room again. I don't have to do that now, so I'm kind of glad I never painted those shelves. But things like that, little tiny mistakes that I realized I should have fixed, and I should have done differently when building the last library, that I now know better, and I will do that down here. So again, I do plan on doing this upright. This will be the home of my new cinematic media library and possibly / theater. I actually at first thought to myself, am I gonna have room for a theater down here? And the reason I question that is because you see my library. It's quite large. I have quite an extensive library, and it keeps growing and growing and growing. And all my friends kind of made fun of me when I said I wanted to put my library down here and put a theater down here as well. They thought, yeah, you're gonna have room for that. Within a week, you'll be out of room. And I started thinking to myself, they might actually be right. And so I thought about the rafter idea. And then once I realized I'm putting movies on the in the rafters as well, I thought to myself, wow, that's quite a bit of space. That won't be taken up on the floor, thus how I could probably put in a small theater. So hopefully that will work. Again, this is all just speculation. We'll see what happens in the end. I can't promise anything. I don't know if I'll actually get everything I want to do done. We'll see. But starting on the 20th of this month, April 20th, is when they're going to break ground and start waterproofing the basement. So that'll be basically the kind of the first day of getting everything started. Before they do that, though, I got to take everything out of this room. Actually, everything out of the basement, because they're not just waterproofing this room; they're waterproofing the entire basement. So I got to get everything out of here in the next 10 days, and that's gonna suck. But worth it, because it'll be really nice to have my library down here. So that's it, guys. That is why I'm shooting a video today in the basement. You could maybe call this part 1 of the build of the new cinematic media library. I'm really, really excited about this. This is going to be absolutely fantastic. I cannot wait. It might take months to get done, but in the end, this will be fantastic. It'll look great. It'll be waterproof. It'll just be absolutely fantastic, and this will be a great place to have my library. Like I said, I do plan on putting a door here in this little walkway that does lock, so I can keep the kid out when I eventually have a kid. It'll be absolutely fantastic. So stay tuned for updates. I will be doing updates a lot as things get done, as the waterproofing gets done, as the electricity gets done, as shelves get built, as painting happens. As everything comes along, I will be shooting update videos of the build. So that's it, guys. Thanks for watching. If you have any questions on things I plan on doing, if you have any suggestions, by all means, let me know. Maybe you've built yourself your own library. Maybe you have your own little man cave. Maybe you got a theater set up or something like that. If you got any suggestions, hey, leave a comment. Let me know. Or send me an email or something like that. I'd love to hear your suggestions. Maybe you'll give me some really good ideas for down here on what to do. And again, if you have any other questions about anything, maybe how I went about building stuff or how they waterproofed or anything like that, just let me know, and I will try to answer them as well as I can. So that's it, guys. Thanks for watching, and stay tuned for my next update of the new cinematic media library. See you guys.